right, guys, so today we're going to be talking about a category of over-the-counter hearing aid that I mention all the time, and that is a more expensive, very high quality over-the-counter. And it also has a couple of very unique features that I have yet to see in an OTC hearing aid. Let me introduce to you the ORKA 2 by ORKA Health Co. Now, the team that came up with these hearing aids and came up with the design, the features, some of them are from Facebook. They have a member from Apple and from Siemens, another hearing aid company. The ORKA 2 offers hands-free, meaning you can answer the phone just by tapping on the hearing aid. You don't have to actually get your phone out and hit the accept call button. You can just answer the call and hang up the call. And it also supports both iOS or iPhones and Android phones, which is a huge plus. The ORKA 2 has AI or artificial intelligence noise reduction, and Forbes Health gave this hearing aid a 6, so it's actually on Forbes Health with, of course, Jabra being at the top. It also has a feature I've never seen before in prescription or over-the-counter hearing aids, and that is the case actually acts as a remote for your hearing aids. So you can turn them up, you can turn them down, and you can also change programs by just pressing on these buttons, which is really cool. Never seen that. That's definitely a first. Now, this is a very shiny, really nice addition to the world of over-the-counter hearing aids, and they really do look like an Apple product. You could totally tell that whoever designed these took inspiration from Apple's products. Now, enough of all the bells and whistles. Does this thing actually work? Is the AI noise reduction actually effective? And most importantly, is this hearing aid worth the $1,900 price tag? Well, I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Let's once again dive into the world of over-the-counter hearing aids and take a look at the very nice ORKA 2. Now, this is another, you guessed it, rechargeable hearing aid. It is an RIC, which means receiver in the canal. This is your receiver, and this is the thin wire it's connected to. So the sound actually comes out of the speaker at the end, and you've got this nearly invisible thin wire that comes down the side. And the bulk of the hearing aid hides behind your ear. Although with the beautiful, shiny, pearly white finish, it doesn't hide too well, but it sure does look nice. And one other very nice feature, which is another first for me when it comes to OTC hearing aids, is the receiver actually unplugs and it's replaceable. So when your receiver dies, which they all do, it's pretty much a guarantee that the receiver is eventually going to die. You just replace it and pop another one on. So this means, unlike other cheaper over-the-counter hearing aids, when the receiver eventually dies, and they all do, you don't have to throw away the hearing aid. You just pop another one on. This means that the life of the hearing aid is only dictated by the battery capacity. But with a very nice, attractive 3-year warranty, that's not really an issue. So I imagine if you replace this hearing aid right around the end of the warranty, you'll probably get a solid 4 or 5 years out of this thing. Now you're probably wondering, well, what sets these apart from other hearing aids? Why is it $1,900? Other than the 3-year warranty and the replaceable receivers, both very nice features, what really sets these apart is the fact that they are programmable based off of your hearing loss. Like I said earlier, they come with this charger that doubles as a remote. You don't have to go buy a $200 or $300 accessory. It all comes built right in. They're compatible with both Android and iPhone, like I said before. And with the new Bluetooth technology, these can actually be connected to multiple devices at once. So you can have the app and the hearing aids paired to your iPhone and your Android phone. Or for those of you that have an iPad and, when you get home, you ditch the phone, you're on your iPad or tablet, and you're going through YouTube videos, you don't have to unpair them from the other device. You just pair them up again and boom, you're ready to rock. And I actually confirmed this by using both my iPhone and my Android. I have an iPhone 11 and I have an Android Galaxy S22, and I was literally able to pair them up to both devices without unpairing from the first device. And the other thing is, it was such a simple process. It was truly a seamless transition from one phone to the other. And they also offer AI noise reduction and a speech focus mode in the app, which is actually pretty significant. So these are all the things that really set these apart from other, traditional, less expensive over-the-counter hearing aids. The ORKA team provides great support right from the get-go. As soon as I got these hearing aids, like the day they showed up on my doorstep, I've got a welcome email from the ORKA team and was invited to do a remote session where they help you set up the hearing aids, get you up and running. They'll help you get them paired to the phone. They'll help you with the hearing tests and get the hearing aids programmed. It was all really nice. I didn't need it, but for somebody that has no experience with hearing aids or just needs the help, it's all there, and they offer it at no additional cost. So if you're worried about, you've never had a hearing aid before, or even, or you have, you just don't have a lot of experience and you're kind of nervous and anxious about getting these set up and working, you don't have to worry about that. They take care of everything from start to finish. And the support doesn't end with the onboarding process. You will have unlimited virtual appointments. So anytime you need help, anytime you need an adjustment, anytime you need, or you have questions, or you want something changed, they're going to be there offering this support. How do the hearing aids look? They look really nice. They don't hide too well because of that bright white finish, but they do look nice. They don't look like your average hearing aid. I really like the color. And you can really tell that whoever designed these took inspiration from Apple. They're sleek, they're smooth, they're super comfortable. When you're wearing these things, you don't even notice you have a hearing aid in. Now, the one thing I didn't care for with these hearing aids is the lack of any physical buttons on the hearing aids themselves. There's no up or down switch. There's no way to change the volume other than using the remote or using your phone. So if your remote's not with you, your phone's dead, or you leave it somewhere, you're not going to be able to make any adjustments to the hearing aids. That's not a huge deal because I always have my phone with me, but for you folks that don't really carry your phone everywhere, that could be a little bit of a problem. But not having any buttons actually is kind of a good thing too. It helps with the water resistance with these hearing aids. Without buttons, it's going to be a lot harder for that water to get in, so it really helps, again, keeping them dry and keeping that water out, keeping the dirt out. There's just less access points for all that stuff to seep in. They have an IP rating of X6. X is just a placeholder. There's actually no designation for the dirt and debris side of the IP rating. And then they score a 6. And the highest I've seen is an 8, like the IP68 rated prescription hearing aids. So these don't have a first digit, and they have a 6 for water or moisture, which is pretty decent. And they're more water resistant than other over-the-counter hearing aids I've reviewed. But again, they could be a little bit better. As for the battery capacity of the hearing aids themselves, they could be a little bit better. They only offer about 12 hours on a single charge. If you have the case with you, you're going to be okay. They do charge fairly quickly, but you're definitely not going to get a full day off of one charge. They will have to go back on the charger eventually. And carrying around the case shouldn't be too bad. It is pretty small. It fits no problem in your pocket. It's definitely not one of those big bulky chargers, so you should have no problem keeping this in your pocket. Now, one thing I really liked about this, and I did kind of expect it with this price tag, is they come with several different types of domes. They come with vented, closed, open, power domes. So just like a real prescription hearing aid, the only domes they don't come with is a tulip. I would have really liked to see those, but these are actually Sonova domes. So if you've ever had a KS9 or a KS10 or a Phonak hearing aid, you'll be very familiar with these domes. They are exactly the same. And Sonova, Phonak, KS9 and 10, they never had tulip domes either. So the domes are super comfortable, and if you ever need replacements, there's a plethora of available domes on Amazon and wherever else you can get hearing aid supplies. But since they do come with a truly open dome, it's really nice because if you have a mild to moderate high frequency loss like myself, you're going to get none of that occlusion effect. With a lot of the over-the-counter hearing aids, even the more advanced ones, they don't give you any open domes because feedback would be an issue. And I don't know, maybe it's because their feedback control systems aren't quite as sophisticated as other prescription hearing aids. These are sophisticated. These are more advanced over-the-counter hearing aids, and I had no issues at all with the open domes and had no occlusion or the occlusion effect whatsoever. So I really like that about these. I was able to wear these all day at work, all day at the gym, and never once was I bothered by the sound of my own voice. And I'm so sorry to put you guys through the sound of my voice. Now, I have to admit, these hearing aids, for an over-the-counter hearing aid, they sound crisp and clear. The only over-the-counter hearing aid that got even close to the sound quality would be the JVC hearing aids that have that tuned app that I was talking about. If you want to check those out, I did a review on them. The JVC sounded really nice, really great sound quality, nice and crisp, and these are no different. These sound very, very good. And they should, because hello, you're paying almost $2,000 for these things. But do they sound as good as a Jabra or Resound top of the line hearing aid? I would say no, but they're pretty close. They sound very, very good. And I doubt any over-the-counter hearing aid out there is going to sound as good as one of those hearing aids. Now, these hearing aids are specifically meant for a mild to moderate hearing loss. So if you have anything more than that, a moderate to severe or severe to profound hearing loss, they're probably not going to work for you. But I do want to mention that I had Johnny try these. Johnny is my guinea pig when it comes to different over-the-counter hearing aids, and he has a severe to profound hearing loss. It is bad. And here's his hearing loss. And he was able to wear these without any issues at all. Now, I want to make sure you guys understand these are not made for his type of hearing loss. Do not expect these to work if you have that bad of a hearing loss. But for him, they did work. So that really speaks volumes about these hearing aids. For Johnny, the sound quality has to be there and the volume has to be there for him to, understand his family and his kids. And the fact that these did that for him says a lot about the hearing aid. I wasn't expecting that, but it is what it is. Now, when it comes to setting up the app with these hearing aids, it's a slightly different process than the one that I'm used to, but getting these set up is really a breeze as long as you just follow the instructions. Instead of just turning the hearing aids off and then back on and pairing them with your phone, you actually have to put them in the case. You have to open up the lid. Both lights have to be green, and you actually pair them while they're in the case, which is really weird, but again, very easy to do. And to set them up on a second device, it's literally the same exact process. It's not a long, drawn out, confusing process of, shutting off the Bluetooth on one phone, turning it on the other. Super, super easy. And I was really blown away by that. I'm using the app on my iPhone and, I turn up the volume, and then I got my Android phone out and turn on the noise suppression, and it actually showed on the other phone that the noise suppression got turned on. So just the way that they talk to each other and can be connected to two devices at once is pretty crazy. I've had so many patients come up and say how annoying it is to have to, when they get home and they get on their iPad or their tablet, they got to shut everything off on their phone and unpair the hearing aids and redo the whole process whenever they want to switch devices. I hear this all the time. So for those of you out there that have an iPad or a tablet, it is really a nice, convenient feature. So to connect these hearing aids to your phone and get started with the app and the hearing test process, super, super easy. You just download the app from the App Store. Make sure you type in ORKA 2 or ORKA Health, and it should pop right up. Once you have the app installed, you just follow the instructions on the screen to get them connected to your phone. Like I said earlier, you just place both hearing aids in the charger. You have to close the lid for like 10 seconds and then open the lid back up. As long as both lights are green, that means the hearing aids are charged and they're ready to be connected. It will then have you take the hearing aids out of the charger. It'll pair right up to your phone. And that's it. You're all set. The app is going to tell you to use Power Dome so that your ears are fully occluded. And then you have to find a very quiet room where there's no distractions, no background noise at all. And then once that's all set, you're ready to begin the hearing test process. It's very straightforward, very easy to follow. You just tap the screen whenever you hear the beep. Once you get through the left side and then the right side, the hearing test is all done and you are ready to use the hearing aids. Now, you also have the ability to upload an audiogram. So if you have an audiogram or a hearing test from your ENT or an audiologist or your Costco hearing test, you can actually take a picture of it with your phone and upload it. It takes like a day or two for the team to respond, but they will get that image. It doesn't have to be like a PDF or a scanned image. You can literally just take a picture with your phone and then send it to them. They'll get that request and then they will program the hearing aids based off of that audiogram. In order to do that, you just go to the app and there's an option that says self-adjustments. So you tap on self-adjustments and then there's an option that says upload mine, and it will allow you to upload any image that you've taken, or you can just use your camera right there and Just snap a picture of your audiogram. And you know, it's funny, I actually brought up an audiogram on my computer screen, took a picture with my phone. It was terrible quality. There are little lines in it, and they were still able to use that and actually program my hearing aids. So it was pretty cool. It takes a couple days, but you know, it'll get done for you. Yes, I'd much rather be able to input my own audiogram, so like, you know, a blank audiogram and then just put in where all my thresholds were, but you know, maybe that's not so easy for everybody, and taking a simple picture is easier. It's not instantaneous, but again, at least they have the option to use an outside audiogram. Now, once you take the hearing test or you upload your own audiogram, you're ready to rock. You're all set to use the hearing aids. You can now stream YouTube videos, music, podcasts. Now remember, these have hands-free, so once you're connected and paired to the phone, you're ready to take phone calls. And to answer the call, you just double tap on the hearing aid. It was kind of finicky at first. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you know, if it doesn't work, you can just take your phone out and answer the call. Now, the app doesn't have all the features that I look for in a hearing aid app. However, it is very simple to use, and for most folks that are not super technically inclined, it gets the job done. Now, for me personally, the most important feature I look for in an app for hearing aids is a real 3-band equalizer, some kind of noise suppression or noise filter, and a way to focus the microphones in front of you, like a front focus mode. Well, this app has 2 of the 3. There is no equalizer, which is pretty unfortunate, to be honest. I think an EQ is a very important feature. The way I see it, you know, us as hearing aid fitters, we cannot hear what the patient is hearing at all. We do know your loss. We program the hearing aids accordingly. And if you go to a good hearing aid specialist, sometimes we even do real ear measurement, like taking the extra step. But at the end of the day, we, again, just don't know what you're hearing with those hearing aids. We don't know what it sounds like for you. We know what it should sound like. We know how they should be programmed. We know it should sound good and should sound clear. We can't put your hearing aids on and simulate your hearing loss. But you can hear it, obviously. And that 3-band equalizer gives you the ability to really fine tune and dial in your hearing aids until it sounds nice and clear for you. Think of the equalizer like your personal audio optician. Yes, for your eyes. Just like adjusting a pair of binoculars to bring a distant scene into crystal clear focus, the EQ empowers you to fine tune and sharpen your auditory landscape. With each adjustment, it's as if you're delicately refining the lens through which you experience the world of sound. This is why every app should have an EQ, but it does have the latter 2 features. So the noise suppression comes in the form of an additional program. In fact, this is the only additional program you get with these hearing aids. You have 2 programs, normal and in noise. And in the in noise program, this is also where you're going to find the speech focus. And this is exactly why I mentioned that for less technically inclined people, they would find this app pretty easy to use because there's not too many options. There's basically 3 adjustments you can make: volume, noise reduction, and speech focus. So is this a bad thing? I don't really know. I mean, I would like a little bit more, but I know the simplicity of this will probably appeal to a lot of people. So to change programs when you're at a noisy place like a restaurant or a bar or, you know, anywhere where there's a bunch of noise going on, you simply just swipe to the left, or you can just hit the program button on the case. Now, this does do a decent job reducing some of the noise, but compared to a $1,600 Jabra, which I consider to have the best in class noise reduction period, it just doesn't really compare. It does a good job. It does reduce a lot of the noise, but like I said before, just when you're comparing it to the best in class, Jabra hearing aid, it's not the same. But you got to remember, not everybody has a Costco right around the corner. Not everybody can go and get those Jabra hearing aids. Or you may not like GN hearing aids like the Jabra, Beltone, or Resound. And if you don't, these will probably suit you just fine. They're not bad hearing aids. They sound good. And I can tell you that the AI denoise feature that these hearing aids have, they're much better than most of your other over-the-counter hearing aids out there. Now, to use the directional mic adjustment, and I just mean, going from 360 to speech focus in front of you, while in the noise program, you're going to have 2 options: hear everyone or speech focus. And again, this will allow you to direct the microphones right in front of you and cut back on the sound that's behind you. Now, when I did this at work, I did notice a slight improvement, and I tested this a lot. At work, we have our front counter, and then, we don't have any noise behind us. We got the front counter and then the rest of the warehouse, back that way. Well, what I did is I walked up like I was a customer or patient, and I was looking at the front desk attendant. I was talking to my friends, and behind me, I can hear carts going by. I can hear the beeping from the different cash registers. And then of course, 10 million people talking. And and when I did the speech focus to direct the mics in front of me, it did cut down on the sound, but nothing like, what the jobbers do. So again, I know I already mentioned this. It does work. It's just not quite up to par with the best in class. But the best in class hearing aid, can cost $7,000, $8,000, even $9,000 if you get the Belltone version. If you're comparing those prices, then this is great. But if you're comparing the price of the Jabra Enhanced Pro 20 for $1,600, I'll let you decide. So all in all, the noise reduction, the speech focus, it's nothing to write home about, but it does help. Now, those are the 3 adjustments that you, the user, can make using the app. However, there's, I'm sure, many other adjustments that the ORKA team can make for you when you set up a remote adjustment and tell them what kind of issues you're having or what you would like changed. And remember, you have an unlimited amount of remote appointments you can do. There's no limit. There's no, you can call in once a month, nothing like that. You need help, you let them know, and they'll be on it. Now, if you do experience any issues, there's actually an entire troubleshooting section in the app, which I found very helpful and very easy to follow. And if a solution can't be found, like, you're getting feedback, you tried the troubleshooting steps, still having feedback, then that's when you book a remote session. And you're gonna get assistance and adjustments from a licensed hearing aid practitioner or a licensed hearing aid professional, which is basically what I am. And when you're in that remote session, they're going to actually make real-time adjustments, just like you would if you booked a virtual appointment with your Philips hearing aids or your KS9 or KS10s. We can actually link up over the internet, and we can make real-time adjustments while you're wearing the hearing aids, and you can hear those changes being made. That's the same thing you're going to get when you do a remote session with ORKA. You don't pay for any of this. This is all included with the purchase of the hearing aids. Now, another thing that I really like a lot about these hearing aids is just like your prescription hearing aids, the ORKA team is going to keep coming out with updates, not just updates to the app, but firmware updates for the hearing aids themselves. And instead of having to drive down and get your KS10 update that's supposed to fix the charging issues and everything, like, you can't do that at home. You can't do that from the app. If you want your KS10 updated with the latest firmware, you've got to drive down to the Costco and you have to get this hooked up to their computer and get the firmware update installed. Well, with the ORKAs, all that's done over the air on the internet. So when there's an update available, you'll see it on the app. And these firmware updates can be improvements to the hearing aids, different bug fixes, different little issues here and there, and also new features. And if you ever want to check for updates, you just head over to the firmware update section of the app, and you just do that by selecting your profile. And if there's an update available, you'll see it. It'll be in red writing, and it's going to say new. Just click on it, and you'll see that there's an update available. And what's really cool is it actually tells you what the update is for. So there's a little description that'll tell you what this is going to fix, what this is going to improve. If they ever add new features, it'll probably say, new feature. They've added a third program or, whatever. In order to do the update, you're going to have to place the hearing aids in the charger, just like you did when you first paired them to your phone, and the update will begin and you'll be good to go. Now, with all that being said, the updates, the lack of some of the features that I look for in hearing aids, like the equalizer and the lack of all these different programs, I'm sure that the updates and improvements that they have done are far from over. I can totally see ORKA adding new things to these hearing aids and the app, especially with videos like this and us complaining that, there's no equalizer. We want more options. I'm sure they're going to listen, and I don't doubt they'll be adding new things. So I'm kind of excited about that. I can't wait to see improvements made to these hearing aids. Maybe they'll even eventually add a Find My Hearing Aids option. Now that we talked about the app, which was pretty short-lived, now let's take a look at the prescription hearing aid feature chart and see just how close to prescription hearing aids these actually are, and take a look at the price per feature. If you follow the channel, then no explanation is necessary, but if you don't, and this is the first video you've seen or first over-the-counter hearing aid review that you've seen from me, well, make sure you go check out the over-the-counter hearing aid review, and this next section will make a lot more sense. Basically, if I'm looking for an over-the-counter hearing aid, I want to find one that has the most prescription hearing aid features that I can, but at a good price. Prescription hearing aids are the best. And why are they the best? Because they have all the prescription hearing aid features like wax filters, a good app, programs. They're programmable to your hearing loss. So that's what I look for in over-the-counter hearing aids. And that's what that video is about. So be sure to check it out. Now, a pretty standard price per point is right around $100. That's pretty normal. That's standard. Any less than that is great. Any more than that is kind of spendy. And just to give you an idea, a prescription hearing aid price per point like the Jabra, Philips, right around $180, $190. So for the ORKA 2s, the first feature on the chart is programmable. Are they programmable? Yes, you will do a hearing test. They will be programmed to your hearing loss, or you can upload your own audiogram. Number 2 is wax filters. These do have replaceable wax filters, so they get the point for that. Number 3 is the warranty. These have a fantastic 3-year warranty and a 45-day trial. For an over-the-counter hearing aid, it doesn't get any better than that. So far, these ORKA 2s have the best-in-class warranty I've seen so far. And along with the unlimited remote adjustments, you are going to be well taken care of if you purchase these ORKA 2s. If the receivers go bad, they're replaceable. I mean, when it comes to this section, these are the epitome of what you want to see with a warranty and trial period. For the durability, they only scored half a point. You know, they're not even rated for dirt and debris, but they do have a water rating or a liquid rating of 6. Could be better, but could be worse, so I give it half a point. As far as Bluetooth and hands-free, these have both hands-free and Bluetooth. Plus, they work on both phones, Androids and iPhones, and they can be connected to multiple devices at the same time. Another category where these babies just shine. Number 6, do they have an app? Yes, they do. And the number 7 is programs. These do offer different programs, not very many, but they do get the point. And I'm going to be updating this chart, guys. I got some pretty good feedback from some of you viewers out there, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, the last category is batteries. Do these come with both rechargeable versions and a regular 312 battery? They don't, so they don't get that bonus category. So that gives us a total of 6.5 out of 7, which is very good. These are basically prescription hearing aids. Probably why they're a little bit on the spendy side. Now, when you go to their website at the time of this video, they had like a $200 off coupon, so you can get them for like $1,700, but the standard price is $1,900. But we're gonna go with $1,700 just for the sake of this video, okay guys? So at $1,700 with 6.5 out of the 7 points, the price per point for these hearing aids sits at $261. Again, to put this into perspective, all right, the Jabra Enhanced Pro 20, one of the most advanced prescription hearing aids out there, is $1,600. It has all 7 features plus the 8th bonus category because you can get the Jabra in both rechargeable or 312 battery. And the price per point of those hearing aids is $200. So what's the conclusion? These are really nice hearing aids. There's no doubt about it. They are very nice. And they have a very, very nice, crisp, clear sound. The sound quality is up there for sure. Compatibility wise, I don't think there's another over-the-counter hearing aid out there that has better compatibility with both Android and iOS. And then again, the ability to connect to multiple devices, pretty crazy. Now, the app is lacking in my opinion. I mean, I would expect with all these amazing features, I would at least expect an equalizer. Like, what the heck, guys? But these are brand new hearing aids. When Philips came out, they didn't even have a real equalizer until enough of us complained. And with the ability to do firmware updates at your fingertips, just new update, I can totally see an equalizer coming down the line with one of these updates. Maybe more programs, maybe Find My Hearing Aids. I don't think they're done. I don't even think they're close to being done with improvements. Overall, if you buy these hearing aids, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. I doubt you're going to have any complaints, and I think you'll probably be pleasantly surprised. You know, the fact that Johnny can hear with these with his profound hearing loss says a lot. Are there better hearing aids out there for less money? Absolutely. But that doesn't take away the fact that these are some nice hearing aids with some really nice features. Now, if you guys would like to give these a try, there will be a link in the description for you guys to click on, and it'll take you right there to buy these hearing aids. Now, as we conclude our exploration of the unique features that the ORKA 2 has to offer, get ready for our next video, unveiling a game-changing innovation that I personally think will redesign the landscape of over-the-counter hearing aids and really set the standard of over-the-counter hearing aid apps going forward. I mentioned earlier that there's certain features that I look for in a hearing aid app, and this new feature will most definitely make the list. If you want to see the future of over-the-counter hearing aid technology, watch this next video. Thank you guys all for joining me. I hope you got something out of this video, and if you did, don't forget, like and subscribe. You'd be doing me a huge favor. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Let's get hearing.